Hey, what's up you fellow Call of Duty Elite champions? Hope everything is going well. So, in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing the most toxic, the most annoying, and by far the most overpowered camping spot in the whole of Warzone, which is of course the airport tower. It's such a good camping spot, in fact, that at the start of pretty much every game with my squad, we always check the map to see how close to the middle the airport tower is going to be. And if it looks like it's going to be in a good spot when the circle closes, we pretty much just make it our top priority to be the first ones to get there after we've gotten our loadouts. And by the way, if you do end up enjoying the video, I'd massively appreciate a like and subscribe. I often like to share overpowered ways to play Warzone, even if the strategy itself is kinda cringy and frowned upon, like this one. But I think you guys deserve to know, and besides, it can be a lot of fun when people rage at you for doing this. And the thing that makes this a top tier camping spot is really just three things, which is, firstly, its very elevated position above the map, which gives you a 360-degree field of view all around you. And secondly, there is a roof above your head, so anyone trying to call in a cluster strike or airstrike won't be able to hit you unless you are right next to the window. And thirdly, there is really only two ways for an enemy team to get up there and kill all of you. And the first way is that they'll have to use the zip line in the elevator area, which, by the way, is extremely easy to defend against because anyone using it is completely helpless as they step out of it. And an enemy team won't be able to come up there all at once. They'll have to zip line up one at a time. So even if someone does manage to get up there without you knowing, you and your squad can just gun them down before any of their buddies can come up and back them up. Now, the other way that people can get up there is if they either parachute in fresh from a gulag, or if they try and approach you with a helicopter. And I wouldn't even consider the gulag guy dropping in as a threat, because he will only have a pistol, so it's pretty much an easy free kill. So the only real threat to your team is if an enemy approaches you with a helicopter, but even so, your squad will still have a massive advantage in that gunfight because you have cover whilst the people in the helicopter are completely exposed, and if they need to bail out, you can just light them up while they are parachuting. So with all these advantages of this camping spot, if you're playing it right, the only way you and your team are going to die is if you all happen to be downed at the same time, which is of course like very, very rare, and that's never happened to me before. Because if one of you gets downed and they try to call in an airstrike, the roof over your head will protect you from that, and the guy shooting at you from below won't be able to finish you off either, because there is no way to hit you unless you're looking out the window. So basically, you're invincible in the airport tower, which makes it kind of funny sometimes, as I've been in many situations where I'm sniping at someone who has downed me like 5 times in a row, but I'm just constantly being revived, and then all I need to do is hit them once in the head, and that pretty much gets the kill. And so, if the stars are aligned perfectly, shall we say, and the airport tower is within the last few circles of the game, it's pretty much almost guaranteed to be a relaxing and high kill game for you. And I just never feel like I need to sweat or try that hard when I'm camping in the spot with my squad, so that just makes it kind of fun. Because Warzone can be quite stressful normally, you know, when you're running around and gunning people down and things like that. It can be really intense, but when you're camping up in this airport tower, it's very relaxing, almost like fishing in a way. Okay, and with all that said and done now, I'm going to go over my recommended strategy for camping up here in this airport tower. And so firstly, in your class setup, you'll definitely be wanting to use overkill with a HDR sniper rifle as your secondary weapon, because it has the fastest bullet velocity, and you'll be sniping at people who are very far away from you. And in your early looting stage of the game, if you didn't manage to find much sniper ammo, I'd definitely make sure you have a backup sniper class with fully loaded, as you'll pretty much only be sniping unless someone is directly under you, so having lots of ammo is very important. But if you were lucky and you found lots of sniping ammo, I'd recommend using the Presence of Mind perk on your sniper class, which lets you hold your breath and basically steady your shot for as long as you want, which is really helpful for sniping at people at long range. And for your medium range primary weapon, something like the Kilo is an excellent choice, but another setup that works really well is the PKM with the 200 round extended mags. And the reason I use this sometimes is because if I know I'm going to be camping in this tower for the majority of the game, the people I kill from the top of it, I won't really be able to loot them and replenish my ammo. So by having the PKM with 200 round extended mags, it gives you way more assault rifle and LMG ammo than if you were just using something like the Kilo with the regular 60 round extended mags, as you can still carry a reserve ammo capacity of 210 rounds, and rather than being 210 rounds plus 60 rounds in your clip of the Kilo, it's now 200 rounds in your clip of the PKM plus the 210 rounds, which is obviously a lot more. And lastly, for the equipment, I'd highly recommend one person in your squad use claymores, just so they can place it in the zipline elevator area, because otherwise, to be 100% safe, you would need someone to watch that place in case someone comes up, and that can get very boring for the person having to do that. You'll also want to make sure most of the people in your squad has an airstrike, because if you down someone who is very far away, it is pretty easy for them to crawl into cover and avoid getting killed. But if you have an airstrike, that will just allow you to secure the kill more reliably. It's also not a bad idea for one person to carry a spare munitions box, because you won't really be looting all that much whilst you're up here, and depending on when the circle closes, you could be looking at camping in this spot for most of the game, and if you run out of ammo, you're pretty much dead as soon as you need to leave the building. And finally, my last big tip for you guys is if you get shot at, don't waste any of your armor plates. Just let yourself get downed if you need to, because there's no way for them to kill you from below, so you'll want to save your armor plates for when you actually need to use it and leave the tower. The only time I'd say it's a good idea to use your armor plates whilst you're up there is if you see an enemy helicopter approaching the tower with a full squad and they intend to take it from you, then that's when you should all armor up and focus everything on stopping them. But yeah, other than that, there's pretty much no other threats in the game, to be honest, that can kill you from below, so save your armor plates for when you really need it. And just before I end this video, you might be wondering, well, what's the best way to kill a team that's camping up in this tower? And unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that, because there really is no good counter to this tower in the game. With other rooftops, at least when you down someone, you can call it an airstrike to secure the kill, but you can't really do that to someone in the airport tower because of that massive roof above them. So really, the only way you can possibly eliminate a team up here is if you all pick a target and try to headshot them all at the same time, Navy SEAL style, and just hope that none of them have a self-revive, because if you miss even just one guy, he'll just be able to revive all his buddies, and then they'll just pin you down. So most of the time, I'm sad to say that I just tend to back down and try my best to ignore people who are camping up there, which is a bit sad, but it is what it is, and to be honest, I've done my fair share of abusing that camping spot anyway, so I don't really think I have a right to complain about it. So yeah, with all that said and done now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and of course, if you liked it, please hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to me. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks, and stay safe.